permanently change the color of your eyes. Keratopigmentation, also known as corneal tattooing, involves an eye surgeon cutting a series of small openings in the clear layer in the front of your eyeball with a laser. Yes, all while you're awake. But worry not, because your lids are held open and your head is strapped to the table so you don't move. A colored dye is then injected into those holes and then sits in front of your iris, not changing but only concealing the natural color of your eyes. 30 minutes later, you're done. All surgeons who offer this procedure claim that it is safe. It is not currently FDA approved, and it comes with some risks.
What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to the channel, man. If you guys are brand new here, man, if you guys don't know what we do, we break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos to IG videos, Facebook, anything weird, usual, unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank the Seekers, man, who's been topping in with us, man, subbing up to the channel. Greatly appreciate the support, man. Like I said, if you guys found us, man, you're seeking the truth just like you. So you found the fellow seeker, man. Let's do what we do best. Let's seek the truth.
You shouldn't drink too much water. This is 35-year-old Ashley Summers, and she was with her husband and 2 daughters at Lake Freeman in Indiana for 4th of July weekend. Everything was going well until she started to feel severely dehydrated. Because of this, Ashley started to drink 4 bottles of water in the span of 20 minutes. An average water bottle is about 16 ounces, so in total she drank about 64 ounces in the span of 20 minutes. Ashley basically drank half a gallon, and that's what you're supposed to drink for the entire day. After drinking all that water, she started to feel like she couldn't quench her thirst at all. She then started to complain about feeling lightheaded and had a stubborn headache. Once her and her family got home, she ended up passing out in the garage and was then taken to the hospital. Unfortunately, Ashley had never regained consciousness, and the doctor told her family that she had passed away from water toxicity. The doctor also stated because of this, her brain started to swell up. Ashley ended up being an organ donor and was able to save 5 people's lives.
Ashley Summers, man. It's a crazy story, Seekers. Like, drinking that much water, bro, in that short amount of time, I'm guessing your body, like I said, can't handle that. Was she drunk in that span? I guess in the 20 minutes, they said that's what you're supposed to have for the entire day, so her freaking body just couldn't handle it, and unthinkable happened, man. That's my first time even hear about something like that. That's away from drinking too much water. I told you, man, Seekers, when I watch these videos with you guys, I always expand my knowledge base. I didn't know something like that was even freaking possible. Gotta be careful, man.
Was recently arrested in Texas and charged with doing the unthinkable. This is Don Stephen McDougal. He's 42 years old. And as you can tell, he's not the friendliest guy. So Don has a really long and violent rap sheet. He's been in and out of prison throughout his life. He was previously convicted of trying to entice a child into bed with him, where he started removing undergarments and stuff like that before the child hopped out. And yeah, Don has done a lot of terrible things in his life. But recently, just last week, this 11-year-old girl, Audrey Cunningham, went missing. Basically, she was dropped off at the school bus stop by her father earlier that morning, but after that, she went missing. Young Audrey never even made it to school that day, and just in the last day, authorities located her body after she had been missing for several days in a body of water. Now, obviously, this is an extremely tragic story, but it's also an infuriating one. Like I said before, Don, the main suspect, was a previously convicted child predator, but he was also the roommate of Audrey Cunningham's father, Joshua. And Joshua would frequently leave Audrey with his roommate while he went to work. That means that Don was given unfiltered access to the young girl pretty frequently. And what's frightening is that when Audrey went missing, Don actually stepped up and said he'd volunteer to help search for her. But yeah, this is a really disturbing case. I don't know why this guy was ever allowed around a child ever again in the first place. And I think that there should definitely be stricter laws in place with child predators so that this can be prevented from happening.
Things that are scary.
Has to be, Seekers. Like, he was already a known convicted, freaking predator. And the fact that his roommate would just leave his kid alone with him for multiple times too. Like, man, you gotta think in that situation. Why would you even be freaking shocked up with even a person like that to begin with in the first place, man. That's just a scary thought in itself right there. There has to be better laws, bro, in place to prevent something like that from happening against seekers. Gotta be better, man. Crazy place.
Corn mazes.
They never bother me. I feel happy and fine. Living in the sunlight, laughing in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
Playgrounds.
I don't need a lot. Coffee's only a dime. Living in the sunlight, laughing in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
3 bone-chilling paranormal encounters caught on camera.
Oh my fucking god, I swear to god, this thing just fucking looked at me. Oh my fucking oh my fucking god,
You saw that, Seekers?
You okay? What the hell? What the fuck is going on here? There ain't nobody there. Miss? Hello?
The reason I had to move out of my flat. I was home alone.
Nah, Seekers, man. That first video and the last one, bro, it's like freaking bone chilling, bro. Especially, man, we saw that door, like, for a quick second, it looked over there, man. I know what I saw. Something like that. How's that even freaking possible? Really, man, get your brain turning, Seekers. And that last one, she said she had to move out her flat. It seemed like something was watching her, bro. I don't know if that was a person or something, man, a spirit or something, man, but something was definitely watching her, bro. Seekers, should we dive deeper into those cases? Let me know. I'll do it.
This is by far one of the worst ways somebody has ever died, and whatever you do, don't look up the video. This is the most disturbing sporting accident I ever came across. On January 19th, 1991, the Lammerthorne race was canceled due to a horrible skiing accident. Gernot Rangstandler, who was a 20-year-old contestant, was going downhill at full speed when he suddenly lost control as he was approaching the finish line. And he then slammed head-on into safety nets at extremely high speed. This then trapped one of his skis inside the net, which resulted in his right leg almost being completely torn off. He also fractured his pelvis and was literally ripped in half. The impact caused serious internal injuries, fractures, and nerve damages. He was then transported by a helicopter to a hospital in Switzerland, where he received several blood transfusions, but despite receiving numerous blood transfusions, both during and after the operation, he later passed away from severe pelvic bleeding. The video is extremely graphic, and I'll explain it to you right now. In the video, you see Gernot going down a ski mountain when he suddenly goes airborne. He then collides with a safety net mid-air while going full speed, and his body then starts sliding down the mountain, but at this point you immediately notice something is wrong. As his body is spinning out of control, a trail of blood is following him, staining the entire mountain in the process. And at this point you see a lot of blood, and you also see Gernot almost ripped in half. His body then stops at the bottom of the hill as a pool of blood forms around him and people come to help. This video is just awful because it's one of those things that you can't imagine ever happening, but it does. How does a safety net rip somebody's body in half? It's just honestly insane, and please don't look up the video because it's extremely disturbing.
Do you ever see a picture that just makes your stomach drop? This is a still from an alert that a woman named Alexis Randall got on her phone. It's from a security camera that was set up in her living room, but she's looking at this and she's thinking the same thing you are. She's like, what's wrong with the picture here? Why did the motion detector go off? But then look a bit closer, specifically at the bathroom door. This man was staring at the camera from the doorway. She spots this picture and she immediately panics and calls the police, but by the time they get there, this guy is gone. And what really freaked her out even more is that when police got there, they found evidence that the bathroom window had been tampered with. Further security footage would show that the man had crawled through the bathroom window the night before and was hiding in the hallway bathroom all through the night, even while she was in the house. And if you guys are loving Creep Time, make sure to go follow on Insta.
This is the most evil cult in South African history. They are known as the Krugersdorp Killers. However, they refer to themselves as Electus per Deus, which means chosen by God. They went on a killing spree between 2012 and 2016, murdering 11 people, mainly from the Krugersdorp community. The leader of this cult, Cecilia Steyn, was a dark, twisted individual. She manipulated her followers into believing that she was a former high-ranking witch. Later, she would convince the group that by committing murder, they were doing God's work. However, it's believed that her real reason for orchestrating the killings was for financial gain as well as revenge against another religious group she used to be part of. The murders were horrific and brutal, literally the stuff of nightmares. The creepiest part of this whole story is the cult members were seemingly normal people. One of them was a teacher, another a financial broker, and even a teenager was involved. The evil cult leader, Cecilia Steyn, is thankfully in prison as well as some of the followers.
This is the scare.
Seekers, bro, it's scary, man. Freaking, like I said, cults and groups like that, bro. Like that type of sway that freaking the leader has and that type of group, they can make a person do anything, man. Like I said, they were just seemingly like freaking normal people, man, but they still carried out those horrific acts because when they have that type of person has that influence, it changes you into a completely different person. You do things you never thought you could do. That's why, man, if you get involved with a group, something like that, bro, but just make sure you do your research, check behind it, man, make sure there ain't nothing fishy going on with that group and stuff you're joining or you're about to join. Don't join the cult seekers.
Scary truth behind celebrities. If you ever seen a celebrity do this hand symbol and then place it over their eyes in photos, it's actually not a fun symbol. It actually symbolizes the number 666. And these aren't the only symbols that celebrities express to the public. And it's leading many people to believe that they are doing symbols like this to symbolize their alliance to the Illuminati. This is extremely crazy. But let's be honest, these symbols that they are doing don't look normal at all. And it really makes you think why they are doing them.
Seekers, man. We know, man, more and more stuff about celebrities and, you know, these freaking Hollywood actors be coming out how they be part of some dark stuff, but they just are like, sometimes it's like it's right in our face and we don't see, we don't recognize it. We just think it's harmless or something like that. But if you actually really think about it, and I guess you go behind the histories, I guess of those signs they be putting up, there really is some dark stuff behind it. So we gotta take all the possibilities that come with it, man. They putting that stuff up in our face, I guess, to show that they're showing allegiance, I guess, to that group. Some people don't believe it, some people do. Seekers, where do you fall? Do you guys believe when they do those symbols, they like trying to show their allegiance to something, or it's just that? I really want to know you guys' thoughts down below on that one. That's gonna be an interesting talk.
Clip was captured at 3 in the morning on April 9th, 2023. It happened in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The homeowner was sleeping when the clip was recorded. It wasn't until he woke up and saw a notification on his phone that he found out about it. He reviewed the footage, horrified. This is what he saw. A woman is shown trying multiple different keys to get into the house, and even looking around for a hidden one.
Is that a gun?
The homeowner claimed that he had never seen this woman before. He said that she later started throwing rocks at his car and trying those locks. It's likely she was under the influence of something. Multiple times she tries to insert keys into the doorbell camera itself. After a few minutes, she walks off and was never seen on the property again. Her intentions are unknown.
To avoid possible
drink seekers turns you into a different person.
Please keep shelter in your residence until further notice. If you are a resident of King County, please stand by for further updates.
This student was found murdered after going for a morning jog. On the 22nd of February this year, Athens was shaken. 22-year-old Laken Cook Riley was a nursing student. She originally studied at the University of Georgia. She then transferred to Augusta University's College of Nursing. She loved running and decided to go for a jog on the morning in question. Her friends became really concerned when she failed to return home. She was reported missing at 12:07 p.m. Police officers attended the university and immediately started scouring the area. They searched the local areas and particularly the areas that were popular with runners and hikers. Tragically, they discovered the young woman's body in a forest near Lake Herrick. She was found unconscious and not breathing and had visible injuries. This was at around 12:38 p.m. Her cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma. The following day, a man named Jose Ibarra, aged 26, was arrested. He's expected to be charged with malice murder, felony murder, aggravated battery, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, kidnapping, hindering a 911 call, and concealing the death of another. He's not actually a student at the university, and police suspect that he may have acted alone. Officers are calling this a crime of opportunity, and they don't believe that he knew the victim prior.
I priced him.
So he just freaking just did it just to do it, man. Like I said, a crime of opportunity. What the hell? You're going through people's mind seekers. She was just going out for a freaking morning jog, bro. You can't even do that nowadays, bro. You always got to be freaking aware, because even you try to do the simplest things, man. As people come around the corner, you don't know what type of thoughts they be having inside of their minds, and look what happened. It's freaking insane, seekers. Yeah, I do them too, so it makes me, man, I have to be more aware of my surroundings now too.
Days a week, 7. When I was 18, I was told I would never have children by a doctor. I thank God he gave me the gift of Ashley. You have no right to take her from me. This is what's left of my daughter. If I want a hug, I have to hug a box and close my eyes and pretend that she is hugging me back. Do you remember texting me? I would never, never do anything to hurt her. I swear on my life. Ashley is my ride and die. Do you remember that? Do you? Ashley was already dead and discovered when you text that to me. I am left with nothing but voicemails and videos that I play over and over just to hear her voice, just to hear her laugh.
Person, man. Seekers, it has to be an edit, right? Has to be, man. That freaking thing with no face try to come after you. Like, what the hell was that, bro? I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to call that one the edit, seekers. Tell me if I'm tripping or not. Is that something else? I don't know.
I keep seeing videos about how our timelines are all messed up, like how I didn't know that woolly mammoths were around at the same time that the pyramids were being built, but there's actually so many other weird overlaps that are blowing my mind. And before we dive in, if you love the spooky and dark, you'll love the podcast. Like how Dali died the same year that Daniel Radcliffe was born. And even weirder, Eminem and Picasso were alive at the same time for 2 years. Rosa Parks lived long enough to be able to see the first 2 Shrek movies in theaters. And let's not forget that in her lifetime, she actually sued the band Outkast. When the Declaration of Independence was being signed, no one knew that dinosaurs even existed. Like, dinosaurs had actually not been discovered yet. And let's not forget that Cleopatra was born closer to the invention of the iPhone than to the actual pyramids being built. This one sounds fake, but is totally real. The last person to collect a pension from the Civil War died the year that Obama took office. And finally, the oldest tree alive today was around at the time of woolly mammoths. And not only that, but when the last woolly mammoth died, this tree was already 1,000 years old.
Seekers, those are some freaking weird facts. Especially the thing about they said Eminem and Picasso being alive at the same time for 2 years. How they said Cleopatra was more alive, they said doing it at the Apple than doing the pyramids. That one is like fishy to me. Like what? I've seen, you know, some theories about how sometimes they say like our timing and stuff is off over, it's like delayed or something like that. We're really not living in a right timeline or something. But I've never seen theories like that before. I'm gonna have to dive deep into those theories, man. It's interesting. Very, very intriguing.
These two women committed one of the most disturbing crimes I've ever read about. I'm going to warn you, this story is extremely dark and disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised. So these two women's names are Stephanie Hurd and Sarah Zamora. And in 2014, both of them were arrested for participating in crush corn videos. Basically, crush corn is a very, very disturbing and demented category of corn that actually involves models mutilating live animals on camera. Oftentimes, they torture live animals for extended periods of time. For example, I've read about some of these videos depicting kittens getting their eyes poked out with high heels. And this stuff is just truly sick, and both of these women appeared in these videos. So this guy is the mastermind behind this whole operation. His name's Adam Redford. He's actually an heir to the Hammond organ fortune. And in the past, he's been in and out of prison for animal cruelty, go figure. But according to the police, Adam Redford is the reason why these videos exist. He was the one hiring the models, getting the animals, and filming this horrific, horrific stuff. And something else incredibly disturbing about all this is that there's actually a market for this type of content out there. There are sickos in this world who actually get off on watching videos and seeing photographs of animals being abused. I mean, that's just deeply disturbing to your core. But now for the part that's going to piss you off. Neither of these two, even though they were on video committing these crimes, were ever charged with anything after they were arrested. So neither of them had to face any legal repercussions for participating in these horrific abuses. And to my knowledge, Adam Redford, the leader of this disturbing ring, was also never arrested or charged. So he's out there somewhere in Florida walking free right now. Who knows if he's producing more, what he's doing, but yeah, I mean, this is just some really dark, disturbing stuff.
Freaking goes to show you, Seekers, man. Freaking have money or power or something, bro, how you can just freaking get away with the actions of your consequences, man. The head that like none of them got freaking arrested, and it was like his own video. He was in and out of jail before, so what made him get off this time? They say he was heir to like a fortune. I'm guessing something went on behind the scenes, paid somebody off or something, and voila, that's what happened. Man, bro, animal cruelty, that's just disturbing to your core. And if people actually want to see that, that's like sickening. Who wants to see something like that, Seekers? I'm telling you, man, like I said, the system, it's like, it's never can just be an equal fair amount. It's always got to be balanced. It's like sometimes it's up here, sometimes it's down here. It's like it can never be balanced. It's never like freaking fair. Crazy.
A dangerous cosmetic procedure is going viral, and it's surgery to permanently change the color of your eyes. Ceratopigmentation, also known as corneal tattooing, involves an eye surgeon cutting a series of small openings in the clear layer in the front of your eyeball with a laser. Yes, all while you're awake. But worry not, because your lids are held open and your head is strapped to the table so you don't move. A colored dye is then injected into those holes and then sits in front of your iris, not changing but only concealing the natural color of your eyes. 30 minutes later, you're done. And while surgeons who offer this procedure claim that it is safe, it is not currently FDA approved, and it comes with some risks like blindness. Now, there's a whole list, but, you know, blindness is on there That's all you really need to know. The irreversible surgery also costs $12,000 or $6,000 per eye if you're on a budget. So the question is, with results like these, do you think it's worth it or not?
Seekers, would you guys change your eye colors, man? That's a risk I would never take. Blindness, like you said, that's all you need to know. That's a risk. No, I'm never doing that. I know some people got it done, but I'm like, to take that freaking huge of a risk, man, just because you want to change the color of your eyes, to me, it's not worth it. Seekers, would you guys do it? Or could you guys go through with that? I need to know.
NutriBullet.
What did the defendant say about using a NutriBullet, a blender, on Harmony? What did he say about it?
He said that it would be good to use. It would help get rid of her.
It helped get rid of Harmony.
Yes.
I have covered a lot of cases in my day here in the true crime. I have never, ever heard something so haunting and disgusting, no less by a parent, to NutriBullet them. So after discussing the ways in which Adam had discussed getting rid of Harmony, Kayla talked about the day that he began trying to get rid of her, which included cutting the clothing off of her body, de-thawing her folded body in the bathtub, all of it. Kayla admitted to the jury that she did help take the clothes off of Harmony's body, and this was after Adam instructed her to.
Did he tell you to help him at some point?
Yes.
Did you obey him?
Yes.
Why?
Because I was scared.
How did you help him?
I helped him take the clothes off of her.
Something weird is happening in the middle of the ocean, and I don't see many people talking about it, so I want to show this video to you. Basically, these guys are in a boat in the middle of the ocean. They're just cruising through, minding their own business, and you're going to see this weird phenomenon. This may be normal, I don't know. I haven't seen anyone talking about it, not trying to start a conspiracy, but take a look. You're going to see the water be really, like, smooth here, and then they're going through a part that's really, really rough. Now, I can't... Right here. So you can... it's kind of... Yeah, right here. See this line? They're in the middle of the ocean. The water is the same depth on here as it is here, but it goes from super rough to really smooth, completely different textured water. I do not know what causes this. Maybe some of you experts out there can give us a hand, but this is kind of crazy phenomenon. This is happening out in the middle of the ocean. Let us know what you think is happening and follow for more.
Secrets. What do you guys think about that?
What it first appears to be, part 7. What looks like it could be a costume party was taken at a 2002 Utah house party, but what it captured was 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart, who at the time was probably the most sought-after girl in America, and with her in white is Brian David Mitchell and Wanda Barzee, who had abducted her from her bedroom and held her captive for 9 months before being discovered.
Seekers. Once again, photos, man, they always reveal a message behind it, man. Like I said, a simple photo. You may think it's just you know, an image or something, man, but it has a story to tell if you really look at the details.
The entire 3.5 years I was with Grant Cardone, all the shit I was chasing, man, literally fell in my lap, I'm not kidding you, in 2 weeks after I left that organization. I was waiting on a large lump of money for like 3 years. That fell right in my lap in 2 weeks. People I've been trying to get a hold of, like high profile people for like 5 years, all of a sudden got a hold of me. Just like opportunity after opportunity just kept happening over and over and over. I didn't even want it.
How did your business do when you were with Grant? Did it 10x?
Nobody's.
No?
Maybe a handful. Out of the thousands of people that don't talk about their business not 10xing, the only way you're going to 10x is if you invest in his scam and start scamming with him. You're going to 10x your scamming. You're not going to scale your business ethically.
An incarcerated man in California beat his cellmate to death to make the world safer for kids. 40-year-old Richard S. Hampton has been sentenced to 50 years to life after he was convicted on 1 count of first-degree murder in the brutal death of Rosendo Echevarria. At least 2 other men are accused of being involved in the attack on Echevarria. Jason Barton has pleaded not guilty to a charge of first-degree murder and is awaiting trial. The other alleged attacker, Aaron Aubrey, committed suicide shortly after the attack. According to the report, on September 5th, 2020, Hampton was on a recorded call with his mother from a prison phone where he asked her to look up his cellmate, Echevarria, on the internet to find out what charges he was facing. Despite being told that Echevarria was incarcerated for child abuse, he was actually facing 4 felony counts of molesting a child under the age of 14. Hampton's mother warned him not to get involved, to which Hampton responded that he had no choice. Surveillance footage from inside the jail showed Hampton waiting inside a cell, while another inmate, Aubrey, concealed the assault with a blanket. Hampton and Aubrey then assaulted Echevarria, with Barton joining in by grabbing a cane. After the assault, the assailants took showers while Aubrey covered the victim's body with a blanket. Barton returned to clean the area and dispose of bloody towels. The attackers were reportedly congratulated by other inmates, and Hampton admitted to his role, stating he made the world safer for children. Barton is scheduled to appear in court on March 1st for his alleged involvement in Echevarria's murder.
World War II ended.
Seekers, what do you guys think about that? He said he did that act to make the world safer for kids. I'm just like, went to the extreme. Like, I guess, you know, I don't know, so some people gonna agree with his actions or not. But his mom looked him up. She told him not to get involved, but he said he had no choice. He did what he felt he had to do. He's just questions his morality about people.
Almost 80 years ago, but England is still finding undetonated bombs. Shout out to Germany, because one of your bloody bombs was recently discovered in a man's back garden in Plymouth after he was just trying to dig out foundations for a house extension. It weighed 500 kg. And if you think, oh, they wouldn't have made it a big deal. No. Officials set up a 300-meter perimeter around the site, affecting 1,219 properties and evacuating 3,250 people, making it one of the largest evacuation operations since the end of World War II. Then, yesterday, more than 100 military personnel arrived at the house, carefully picked up the bomb, drove it through the densely populated residential area, put it on a boat out to sea, and then detonated it 14 meters underwater. And just like that, World War Fish begins.
This is the gruesome case of Kimberly Proctor. On March 2010, 18-year-old Kimberly was lured to her friend's house. She was tortured, sexually assaulted, sodomized, and then stuffed in a freezer to die. This all happened in British Columbia, Canada, when Kimberly was new to Pacific Secondary School and she met 16-year-old Cruz Wellwood and 17-year-old Cameron Moffat. The two boys were best friends and they were known to be troubled teens, especially Cruz, who his father was already in jail for multiple essays and the murder of a 16-year-old girl. In February 2009, Cruz posted a blog titled "Early Warning Signs of a Serial Killer." And then he listed 14 common traits and wrote the following. The peculiar thing is I meet all 14 criteria. Around this time, Kimberly started dating a boy named Zach, and after a few months, their relationship ended. And that's when Kimberly went to Cruz and Cameron for some comfort, but the two boys wanted to date her now that she was single, but she wasn't interested in being in a new relationship. The two boys felt rejected and lashed out at Kimberly through MSN, calling her nasty names, and even went as far as telling her that she was gonna die. But you see, what no one knew, especially Kimberly, was that Cameron and Cruz were not joking. It's been said that the boys were into very dark things. They drank blood together, they watched sadistic porn, and they fantasized about SA and bondage. So not long after, Cruz and Cameron messaged Kimberly again and asked her if she wanted to come over so that they can apologize and talk in person. While Cruz was messaging Kimberly, he was also talking to Cameron, and they spoke about all the disturbing things they were going to do to Kimberly if she agreed to meet with them. Kimberly really did see the good in everyone, so she agreed to meet, and the next morning at around 10:30 a.m., she went to Cruz's house. The two boys agreed that the code to attack Kimberly was to say, "I think I'm going to make some KD," which in Canada just means mac and cheese. When they tackled Kimberly, they first tied her hands and ankles with tape and then stuffed a sock in her mouth. They SA'd and beat her for hours while doing other very disturbing things to her. They then put her body in a freezer, and Cruz went on his computer to send Kimberly a message in order to build himself a cover-up story in case he was questioned by police. Later that evening, Cameron asked his ex-girlfriend to come over, possibly to do the same thing to her, but luckily she didn't fall for it.
The man's a case, Seekers. She says she freaking saw the good in people. She went over there because they said they wanted to freaking apologize, and they did that. Oh, damn. You gotta be real. And like I said, that guy, the other guy talking about saying the freaking signs of being a serial killer. He said he met all that. That's a water flag right there. Ding, ding, ding. Head going off is like, nope, something's wrong. And that's an extremely dangerous individual. Look what happened. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. So I appreciate you. Guys, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button, man, hit that notification, man, to let me know if you guys want to see more videos. Like I said, tell me down below, man, if I should start the Discord. I think I'm going to do that at the beginning of April, so you guys can send me some clips and stuff if you guys want me to check it out, so we guys can watch these videos together, man. You guys can have some input in the videos. We're going to keep going, we're going to keep grinding. Like I said, I haven't missed a day this month. I don't plan to. You guys can catch in the next videos. I'm out. Peace, seekers.